Oh, did you get one of the zombie flavored ones?
Wow.
I wanted one of those so
They're a
bad.
mystery. Who knows which one's which? They don't tell you, and they're awful.
Yeah, one's like rotten flesh
It's
flavor.
so gross.
Really? They taste bad?
There's like one, and that little pack only has like 4 Skittles in it, so like you're not even guaranteed to get one in a pack. I wanted one of the bad flavored ones.
Here,
so
go
bad.
ahead and try all the rest of these.
No,
No,
don't.
you already got all the bad flavors.
Who knows?
It could be a whole pack of zombie flavors.
Bardic Mystery Tour is always here for you. Strap them boots on, here comes season 2. We're a band of bards solving mysteries. Join us on adventures if you please.
Bardic Mystery Tour is a 5th edition D&D actual play podcast about a rock and roll band out on tour that solves mysteries. I'm Ed, I'll be your DM.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm playing Flo Calhoun. She is a wood elf and a bard. She's a singer of Antler Mayhem. She usually uses a magical bow or her spells to fight, and she recently acquired a set of bracers of archery that she's looking forward to using.
Hi, I'm Brayden. I play Sammy Stoneslinger. Sammy Stoneslinger is the best bard of the bunch. He's a rock gnome because he rocks so hard, and he plays the drums in the band Antler Mayhem. Sammy comes from a long, proud line of stone-slinging gnomes, and he has a special slinging technique that lets him sling stones farther than the average gnome.
Hi, I'm Grundledor, and I'm bleeding on my maul right now.
Once again, the gang finds themselves on the high seas. The small ocean-going vessel you find yourself in is rocked by the small waves as you travel through the ocean. It's early morning, and there's a light mist on this cloudy day. You hear a murmuring among the crew in a dissettled manner. Dirk Fidget, your lifetime friend and band manager, comes over, and he says, "We sure are pretty behind schedule today, guys.
How far behind?
We're at least a day behind."
Is our show supposed to be the day we get there?
I think it was supposed to be yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
Should we skip this one and just go to the next one?
Let's skip this.
I don't know if
arc.
we can. We're kind of at the mercy of this ship because, they have to go there and do stuff.
Where are we going?
It's a small island called Stibble. It has 2 B's in it.
Like BS. No, I can't actually write it.
BSBTBIBBBBBLB.
That's pretty good.
Stibble Island.
Is the island called Stibble or the city called Stibble?
I don't know. I assume it's one of those city island things.
Okay. Well, is there anything we can do to get there faster to help the crew out that you heard of, or should we just wait it out and get drunk?
I think we're kind of at the mercy of the crew right now. It's just we had some bad luck with the weather there on the sailing portion of this trip, which is current.
Yeah, bad currents.
Yeah.
Now, should we take our flying carpet and send a scouting party to tell them that we're running late, or just
I don't think
because we can't put all our equipment on it and stuff?
Right. Number 1, I'm not 100% sure where it is. Number 2, we'll get there when we get there. I think we're going to get there like this morning, but we were supposed to be there yesterday
What time is it?
morning.
All right. Looks like we're just killing time on the boat.
As you say that, through the fog, you can see the outline of an enormous tower, 600 feet tall. That's really tall.
Yeah.
It's not 600 feet tall.
That's bigger than a
Come on.
Washington Monument.
I barely started taking notes and I'm so already wrong.
Every time I see you write something down, I'm going to change it.
550.
How tall was that cliff in the last one? That was like 300 feet.
No, I can't remember that long ago.
All right, this is like 200 feet tall.
Yeah,
That's like 20 stories.
not very big.
Depends on how big the stories are.
All right, I'm going to focus really hard, and I'll roll a perception for this if you want me to. Is there a light, like a humongous beaming, shining light at the top of this tower?
Actually, yeah, roll your perception check.
Yo, I rolled a 20. That gives me 22.
All right, there's actually a beam of blue light that goes from the bottom of the tower, you presume, through the peak of the tower, and it trails off into the sky. It emits a really low amount of light, but it's extra visible in like the fog as it's like refracted through the water and the air. But it gives off a better understanding of the shape of this tower. It seems to be some sort of radio tower shape. It's like wider at the bottom and it tapers as it goes up, and it's this like framed out structure It's not like an office tower that has like
It's not like a stone
buildings in
tower
it. No, it's like a
There's no parapet.
or even a single pet.
no pets allowed. But there's like those cross girder things. It looks kind of like the Eiffel Tower,
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
but it looks more like an oil derrick. You know, like deep ocean oil rigs are like just actually floating platforms,
Mhm.
Yes.
not like
What? Really?
standing up big
Oh, yeah.
oil derricks you find on land.
Mhm.
It's like a land oil derrick.
A what?
Land
A
oil derrick.
land to
Wait, I'm
oil
sorry.
derrick.
Does that mean that it's not stationary, but it is on the ground?
Is it floating in the water?
It's in the water.
Oh, the bottom of it's in the water?
Yeah.
In the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay, that might be my fault.
I mean, I'm trying to describe it so that not only you understand, but also the listener.
Smart.
You see, there are many platforms on it that seem to be like what you would use where people would be or something like that, you assume? I don't know. I guess there aren't lights. There's a handful of like lights that are coming from it that are like station lights that maybe are like, you know, torchlight or some magical lamps or something.
Okay.
They look more like they're for people looking at things, and less like they're like a giant beam of light coming from the ocean.
Okay.
Do other people on the boat seem to be pointing that out and noticing it?
No, you're going toward it, and as you get closer to it in the ship, you realize that it is also just dwarfing this small island beside it. It's they're reasonably close. They're like, I don't know, like 100 meters away from. It's like 100 meters offshore or something like that.
How big is the base of this tower?
Like Big O.
Bigger than the island.
No. The island is bigger around.
It's less dwarfing the island than towering over the island.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, the island's a pretty small island. It's no Reduia, but like more Prindy's doing all these sized.
What if it's like Reduia minor sized?
No, it's bigger than Reduia.
When did we start talking Pig Latin?
Last arc.
No, it's been this whole season.
I guess maybe Reduia was actually bigger than Prindy's doing all these. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought Prindy's doing all these was like just a mansion-sized thing.
Yeah, good point. All right, Reduia is bigger. Anyway, small-ish island,
Big-ish tower.
Big O Tower.
The Big O.
But in all honesty, the island's bigger than the tower, but the tower is clearly man-made and very impressive. Island, deity-made, they do that stuff all the time. Give me a break.
Okay.
This may be the biggest man-made structure you've ever seen, except for maybe Ippy, because that was huge. But, you know, dwarves didn't make this because it's in the ocean. They hate the ocean, except for the ones from Prendy's doing all these. I mean, there's a lot of inconsistency coming up right now, and I don't want to talk about it.
I want to do a history check and see if I know who built this tower then.
All right.
You got like 5. No, oh no, 6.
You guys know that Grundledor doesn't know a ton about
7.
the history of the area, so you're very impressed when he goes, "Oh, guys, look, the Manahart Tower."
Now, do we know what it's actually called? I got a 24 on my history check.
You turn around and look at it, and you're like, you clearly see the giant sign, the illuminated sign that says Manahart,
Okay.
and you're like, Grundledor, you just read that right now. You don't even know what that
He can't
means."
even read.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of inconsistencies coming up this arc.
This is, well, yeah, man, let's just,
All right, we'll start again.
then the
next-
boat sinks and everybody dies. Everyone
All
rolled
right.
new characters. Good arc, guys. So the boat sails toward the island, and eventually it gets there, and there's a dock, obviously. But when you're pulling into the dock, there are like policemen there, but not many. There's like a dude. It's like there's a dude who is dressed in some sort of police-looking uniform in the style of the police force of Oxheld.
Hmm.
And the boat pulls up. I don't know enough about like boat docking protocol, but I assume they just like huck a rope at some
Yeah,
dude.
you definitely huck a rope at some point.
Then there's a dude that's like, "You can't come in here." The guy from your boat is like, what are you talking about? Like, we have to dock here. And like, you're not allowed to dock here.
Yeah, we're out of fuel. We need to refuel.
We have to send a dude down, and they send a guy that like runs down the rope that they did it. He's dexterous.
The hucked rope.
Yeah.
Does he like over underhand and he's like hanging under the rope?
Yeah.
He runs down it.
Run- He runs down
Runs
it
down it.
figuratively.
Oh, so there are more inconsistencies.
Look, I'm trying to retcon some of the inconsistencies out of this thing. You got to let me try a little bit here.
So he gets down onto the dock and then what?
And then you see a guy wearing like the uniform, like waves at this other dude that comes over. This other dude is wearing one of those rounded bowler hats. whatever, and he's wearing a monocle, and he's got super gray hair and like a real dark brown mustache. But he's wearing like a suit, like a pinstripe
I'd like to roll a perception check
suit.
on his mustache. Is that a mustache made out of hair, or is that a chocolate milk mustache? 2.
That's a chocolate milk mustache.
Okay.
Oh, for real?
I'll have to hand him a handkerchief.
No, not for real. I don't know. You want to roll a perception check to see if that's a chocolate milk mustache?
Well, I'm going to have to hand... I think it is, so I'm going to hand him a handkerchief and tell him to wipe that shit off his face.
Well, you're pretty far away from him.
Okay. We'll wait till
We
I
got to get
closer.
Grundledor down there faster.
Yeah, roll like a ranged attack to see how far you can huck a handkerchief.
What's the range on a handkerchief?
10.
You probably got to roll at disadvantage.
Yeah, just let it. Just tell me what you rolled.
16.
All right, you huck your handkerchief just in the ocean.
I yell out, wipe that shit off your face.
Do you want me to get that handkerchief for you, Grunago?
Nah, it needs to be washed anyway.
You see them arguing back and forth for a minute, and then he throws his hands in the air and he walks away. And then the dude from the boat's like, oh, yeah, like waves his arm, like, yeah, come on. And they're like, all right. And they like finish docking, however you do that, pull the boat close, throw down the plank.
Docking.
Yeah. They put down like the gang.
You're doing that in public.
Then they put down like the gangplank or whatever it's called.
That's just that board that has slats across so that you don't slip, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's a walking plank.
From
What's
the German
the difference
word
between
Gangen.
a gangplank and walking the plank? Do you just walk the gangplank?
You walk the gangplank.
That where the gang just like walks.
Yep, it's like that. Then what happens?
Then they start carrying a bunch of stuff off of the boat. Dirk starts getting your like gear.
Hey, Dirk, is this where we're playing our show?
Yeah, this is the island.
Oh, nice.
This is Stibble.
I say we go. Dirk, can you get all our stuff without us?
Yeah, we're cool.
All right.
He grabs some amplifiers and starts walking down the gangplank, whatever it's called. I don't know if that's the right word for that.
I think it's right. But let's go then. Then we also go.
Okay, so the dock is next to a large open area in a town. So the immediate thing that impresses you about the town right now is that the town seems very divided into what seems to be like a scattering of very old houses and this very new development of apartment / row house kind of housing complex of like multi-story construction.
Okay, so this town has a rich half and a poor half, or a new development half and an old development half. But
Yeah.
they're both residential, you said?
Yeah, there's not much of a business district. You see an inn that's, a 3 or 4 story building that says the Quagmire on it. You don't see like a general store, right? But there is like a blacksmith and like a cooper and stuff like that. But there's not like a lot of things you see in other towns, like a market specifically missing.
Okay.
And you don't see any like restaurants.
What about parks?
It's not a huge town, so the woods aren't very far away.
Mm.
There's like treed part of the island.
Detreed?
No, still treed. Does treed and detreed mean the same thing? Does treed mean covered in
No.
trees and uncovered from trees?
Like shelled?
Yeah, is it a contronym?
Is there a venue?
Notably, you don't see a venue.
Oh, no. Let's go back and talk to Dirk.
Okay.
Hey, Dirk, we can't find a venue.
Maybe it's just on the beach.
He's like, oh yeah, this was some kind of like company that the Manahart was paying for entertainment for their workers or something. It's not like a
Wait, did we just sign up for Fire Festival?
that man with the bowler comes over to you guys and he says, "Are you guys Antler Mayhem?"
Yes.
Who wants to know?
Constable Bernhard.
Send him over.
Bernard. I thought there was an H in his name.
Send him over.
He's me.
Oh, yeah. Then they're us.
All right. Maybe you can help me out.
Maybe.
I'm in the middle of a caper. I heard that you guys solve problems.
That's true. Sometimes.
I heard you make problems.
That's also true. Sometimes.
We made one problem once. That's it. What's his name? Bernhardt?
Bernard.
Bernhard?
No, it's just Bernard. It's Bernard.
H-A-R-D?
Barnhard.
Barnyard.
Barnhart.
Barnhardert. Hard.
Barn harder.
Bernard.
Bernard.
Yeah, or Bernard. You can call him Bernard.
How about we call you Burnzo?
He's like, I don't care.
Yes.
Do you feel it?
The burn.
Yeah, well, sometimes we help people. Mostly we're interested in playing our show, though. I think we might have missed our booked date.
Yeah, well, we're shut down, but the only reason I even let you guys land is because they said that they didn't have enough supplies to get back to Ogsheld, which I doubt.
You know how sailors are. Can't trust them.
They said they have a small crew, and the only other people on the ship were you guys. They were just running a supply run, picking up these dumb crates.
I can't speak to the truthfulness of that statement, but seems plausible.
I'm not concerned with it, but no other strange ships will be docking here under my watch. Not during the investigation.
What would you do if one tried to?
I don't know, last time someone tried to, they said like, oh, we need supplies to make it back to Ogsheld, and then I said that they could, so I guess I would let them
You could just, every time they try to huck the rope down,
throw it back in the ocean.
kick it off, yeah.
What if it's a boatload of immigrants?
Like, how many? We don't have like that much housing.
Like 200.
Is this island its own nation?
No, we're part of the Greater Ogsheld Province.
Okay.
Wait, is the province called Ogsheld? I think it's called Greater Ogsheld Province.
Yeah, it was called Greater Ogsheld.
In the past, it was. Maybe there's been a referendum.
Could have been a revolution.
Brayton is concerned. He thinks that it's half old housing and half new housing. And I felt like the way you described it, it's all mixed in.
It feels to you like there was a village here, and then something happened where they needed tons of housing, like now, and they built a ton of it over on this side of town. It's all newer. It's all different stylistically. It doesn't fit the town. Like when you're in a city and it's cramped, it's because it's been like decades of shoving stuff in wherever you can kind of thing. Oh, this building's old and it fell down. Well, the one we put in there is built for this space. You know what I mean? So they built all these new units just wherever they could fit them. So it's all kind of over in one area. There's one place that has all the new construction. And it's not like, oh, we fit these houses in where we could. It's we built all of this on this section.
Okay, so there's one section that's planned, and one section that is more haphazard.
Yes.
And the majority of the town is haphazard.
Well,
The majority of the space of the town is haphazard, but it looks like the housing units are like pretty even. Like the same number of people probably live in the old section and this new like development.
Okay.
well, I hope in the new section they didn't combine their sanitary and their stormwater.
Oh, buddy, that's a real problem in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but when you live next to the ocean
You have a place to poop.
and you don't care like what goes in the ocean, you don't have a sanitary problem. You have a sanitary problem. You just don't have a sanitary problem. You have like a sanitation problem, but not a sanitary problem.
All right, we were talking to Constable Bernard, and he wanted us to help him work on a case. And we were about to say, if he can help us to play our show, pull some strings with the local government and get us to set up a show, even though we're 2 days late or a day late, then we might be able to help him solve his mystery. Or what he had a better word for it. Crime.
Caper.
Caper.
He's like, all right, well,
Kippers. Can we get some kippers for lunch?
No.
for the risotto,
A caper of kippers.
I don't know what risotto is.
What the?
It's
I don't
rice
know.
noodles.
Is that what that is?
Wait. It's like
No.
noodles that are... it's not made out of rice. They're just shaped like rice.
Right.
I thought it was a kind of cheese that you put capers in.
Risotto? That's ricotta.
You don't even put capers in ricotta, I don't think.
You put capers in like red sauce.
You can put capers in anything.
You can just eat capers.
Kippers I put in like hot sauce.
Kippers?
Yeah.
Kippers and bits?
Is it a kind of pepper?
Canned fish.
Oh.
Canned fish? If it's not canned, it's not kippers. That's their slogan.
Oh.
Please
a
tell us a
brand?
little bit about this caper that you need help
If
solving.
it's not canned, it's not
Burno.
So if we figure out the perpetrator of this crime, then we can open up access to the ferry back to the tower, which is where you're playing your show.
Oh, we docked on... The dock is on the island and not on the tower?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, nobody lives on the tower.
I thought we docked... Oh, okay. I'm
It's
good.
too
about
dangerous out there.
in the tower.
No, it's too dangerous. Because when storms come, you just get like your house blown into the ocean.
Is the tower part of the town building project that Constable Bernard is working on?
Building project.
It seemed like there was a building project.
No, there's a caper.
Okay, sorry. What happened is I started getting Fire Festival in my head and I went there.
Okay.
Okay.
constables work for the government to solve crimes.
Uh-huh.
But they don't really do that.
They're
But
like
this one
police.
does. I just picked a random police synonym, and I went with constable this time. I don't know what constables do like everywhere, but in Allegheny County, they serve warrants.
All right. What's the mystery? What's the problem, Constable Bernard? I say.
The problem is somebody broke into the government building.
At the top of the tower?
We don't have. Hear me out. This is like a satellite, remote, nothing island, and I'm from Augsheld, and I'm assigned here because of the recent rapid expansion of population while they get it under control.
Because you didn't build a wall.
Well, there's not. We want them here. I don't want them. Wait.
So you want the wall, but nobody else did.
I want to go back to Augsheld. I don't even want to be here today.
You could get on that boat and leave, and we'll go too, and we'll go find a show.
No, I'm charged with solving the crimes of Stibble,
Yeah, and if he leaves, he'll be charged with high treason or desertion.
or just like fired.
Just find some vagrant and arrest him and blame him for all the problems.
Yeah, see, we tried to arrest a vagrant one time, then they set up all these traps in the woods and they shot down our helicopter.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
All right. So where's this government building?
Don't try to shave him with a dull razor. That's the moral
Vagrancy-
of that story.
Yeah. Vagrancy, very legal in the greater Augsheld area, as long as you're not committing other crimes.
That's why you just blame the crime on
Yeah.
the most non-threatening.
Blame the
They
crime, not
don't
the
pick some
crimer.
John
Yeah.
Rambo-looking motherfucker.
Theft is the problem, not the person who stole.
Hate the crime, not the criminal.
That's what I say.
I feel like we've gotten off track here, Burno.
Where's the government building?
We don't even have that much of a government building here. It's like a repurposed house. That's what makes it easy to break into.
That's part of the problem, it seems.
Okay, so what if we teach you how to make locks?
I know how to make. Wait, no, I don't know how to make locks. I know what locks are. We can buy lock. We're working on it.
Where's the closest tinker shop? I'll build you a lock.
You can buy as many locks as you want. That doesn't solve who broke into it yesterday.
Okay, who did it?
There's the question.
Yesterday, you say?
It wasn't yesterday. It was the last. It was during the last show
Well, then let's just put a show on and then you can stake it out.
when the Aquanauts played.
The Aquan.
The Aquanauts. I knew if I just said Aquanauts, you guys would just think I meant the Aquanauts.
Can you explain that pun a little bit better?
Aquan is like a water people race. Or
Oh,
maybe just the language for the
Mhm.
water people.
Okay, all right.
Like Aquaman,
It's not Ogwin, which is
Ogwin Man.
it's also the water people
Aquaman.
race. I mean language.
Well, so how long ago did they play?
It was yesterday. Retconned again. And they haven't been allowed to leave the town yet.
All right, so can you show us to the government building, please?
Yeah.
Will you show us to the government building, please?
Sure.
All right, let's go. We can't solve mysteries if we don't see the scene of the crime.
Okay.
In fact, we might not be able to solve it anyway.
Speak for yourself, Flo.
Antler Mayhem always gets their man.
Except for that one time I lost my tentacle rod.
Oh, maybe it's
Tentacle
here.
Rod, not a man.
We'll find it.
Tentacle Rod would do a better job than any man.
Tentacle Rod is the best kind of man.
Tentacle Rod, rubbing itself all over my bod.
All right, we go to that building.
Sorry, I'm trying to unpuke right now.
Did you eat one of those?
What?
No, he's just thinking about all the tentacles.
There are only 3. It's not that impressive.
Take
oh,
us
oh,
to
you can fit all those in you then.
Take us to your government
At
building.
the same time.
Take us to your government building.
Take me to your government building. He's like, all right, well, we can talk while we walk.
Oh, good. Let's walk.
He starts walking.
Me too.
Which way, though? Dude?
With him.
Why don't we just walk the talk?
We always sing while we walk.
Wait, walk the talk and talk the walk?
We're singing while we walk. Yes,
This
we're
is
singing
a
while
walking
we
song.
walk.
I like to poop and
Take a scoop and put it in a walk. Can't rhyme walk with walk.
but you can with
Walk,
rock.
And crock
talk.
a tune and Be the big spoon.
and wear that stupid smock.
Hey! And then we're there.
He's like, so we wasted the whole time singing that dumb song.
Wait, that's probably got to get mostly edited out. So
Yeah,
you can just
we
say-
didn't really see
No,
a
that's
song.
making it in.
No, it was so bad.
So what's more of this hot tips that Bernard has for us?
So this is the government building. It's just a house that has bars on the windows.
2-story?
Yeah,
Is there a garden around it?
no. But it's like, it is one of the more like accessible. It's like toward the center of town.
Do they have a handicap ramp?
No, it's like on ground level.
Iron wrought fence?
Yeah.
Any signage?
No, white picket fence.
Oh, I said garden instead of yard because he's a constable. But we already talked about how we have constables in America too.
So if you don't really have a fine line defining where your flower bed ends and where your garden begins,
Mm-hmm.
I mean your yard begins, does that mean you have a yard? And
What makes you think that someone broke in? Was there something missing?
It was ransacked.
Is anything missing other than just torn apart?
That's the strangeosity of this whole thing.
do you still have all your dignity?
The strangeity. We can't find anything that's missing.
Well, obviously it's missing.
Yeah.
But I think I got a pretty good start on this bad boy.
All right.
Also, the show. So the show at the tower, which is where they do shows at towers, right? I don't, because like, hear me out, like we don't have a venue. The company paid for the show. It's for the workers, but they invited the whole town. You know, they're trying to work with the town here. There are some town folk that don't like the company coming in and putting a huge tower, and they're like, oh, it makes so I can't sleep at night. There's blue light all the time. Like,
Yeah.
then they're like, they bought them curtains. Then they're like, I hate curtains. And so they're like,
It's curtains for these curtains.
yeah, it's convoluted. But the big enough place to do it, the only venue sizable enough for a rock show is over on the platform. And so they ferry them all over there. But because everyone loves the Aquanauts, it was a super popular show. And you're not obviously not required to go, but it was ransacked during the show.
What time was the show?
7 p.m.
Till when?
2 a.m. They know how to rock, you know what I mean? Doors were at 7. Well, Ferry was at 7, you know what I'm saying?
What was the finale song, like the encore?
Half-orc girl from Island B.
All right, excellent. Excellent memory, Bernard.
Most of the people on the island were in the tower when the government building got ransacked.
Who wasn't?
Do you have an exhaustive list of
I
all
have an
the people
exhaustive
not-
list.
Is that true?
I've accidentally flipped to Redo, y'all.
The exhaustive list is Padananoyo.
No, these are, I don't know if this got said in the last arc. The names of the frog people of the Slotty were Wah, Bror, Gra, and Tra.
Hey, Constable Bernard.
How's it going, Sammy Stonesinger, who's never introduced himself yet?
I'm Flo Calhoun.
Oh, hi, Flo. I'm Constable Bernard.
You said you have an exhaustive list of who was at the show. So who wasn't?
No, I have an exhaustive list of who wasn't at the show.
Oh, tell us.
Gallifort, Harmore, Kiffin, Balefist, and Genitor.
Wait. Gallifort, Harmore,
Kiffin,
Kiffin.
Genital.
Genitor, and Balefist.
But not in that order. Now we mixed up the order.
They're not in any order.
Well, let's put them in height order.
Okay, Galefort, hands down the shortest.
Give him a 5.
Kiffin, second shortest.
4.
Harmore, probably about exactly the same height as Kiffin.
So those are both B3s.
I put them both as 4s.
Okay, bud.
There's 6 people. Why are you starting at 5?
There are
Genitor,
5 people.
What?
Gallifort, Harmore, Kiffin, Genitor, Balefist.
Balefist, tallest.
Who's Baildor?
That's your brother.
Grundledor found an extra person.
All right. Like, are they related? Do they live near each other? Do you know where they live? That information would be helpful to us.
So genital is the shortest.
It's Genitor. He cleans the turlets.
And Jelliford is the shortest.
Is it
Yeah.
Jello Forge?
Yeah, he makes all the gelatin for the town. Keep up.
Is it Jello or Gello?
It's Gallifort. All right, next information. That's less useless than random height. Who are these people?
Constable.
What's up?
What can you tell us about Gellifort?
Or Gallifort?
Gallifort works for Manahart. She's like, I don't know, I don't know what their jobs are over there.
Okay. What do you know about Harmore?
Harmore also works for Manahart. She's an engineer. She also works with the town a lot to help improve our systems.
Voluntarily? Like philanthropically?
Yeah. So our town isn't very, we don't have, I say we, I'm not from here. I'm from Hogtown, but you live
They,
in
you
one-
can say they.
You start losing yourself to these weird fringe
We've been on
towns.
tour a long time. We understand.
All right. Before Manahart moved in, the whole town was real like subsistence farming, hangout. They don't like no one has jobs.
Fishing.
They like just chill and like eat and fish and like there's some people that do like some stuff, but there's not like a hard like economy around here. Manahart moved in. A lot of people came in to work for them. So like half of the island works for Manahart.
What's Manahart's main business?
There's apparently some sort of ley line crossover influx node or something. I don't know anything about magic. Something here that's apparently super cool, and they built this structure out here and they harvest mana or something and they ship it out to like mage schools to like create magic items, but it's apparently like raw base magic. I don't know how magic works. So they do something with that big old blue light that comes out of the ocean.
Okay, so Harmore is an engineer. Gallifort works for Manahart, but we don't know in what position. Kiffin probably also works for Manahart.
Yeah.
Do all 5 of these suspects work for Manahart?
Genitor doesn't.
Okay. What do you think Kiffin does occupationally?
I'm not sure. I think that they have a lot of like factory jobs.
Like line workers?
Yeah. So it's not like it's more like, what do you call someone that works on like an oil rig?
Rig hand.
Yeah, they're more like rig hands.
Oilman.
We call them tower hands.
Towerman.
Roughnecks.
Manage the systems. They like, move stuff around. I think that a lot of it's not automated, but like slow moving.
Like an assembly line?
No, it's not a plant. It's just a harvester.
Okay.
So there's upkeep, tons of janitors or like carpenters or like, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Like write down these numbers on this meter or like turn this crank when we need it turned.
Okay.
I don't think that they're like all highly skilled or anything.
Okay, a lot of unskilled laborers.
Yeah.
Okay. And Kiffin, she probably
Gallifort and Harmore are ladies. Kiffin, Balefist, and Genitor are dudes.
all right. That's what I was trying to eke that information out. All right, then Balefist, what do you think his occupation is? Same mystery worker?
Yeah, I think he does some of the, like magic stuff or something like that. He's like is magically knowledgeable. He's like a higher up. He's not a higher up. He's like an office worker, but I don't know what they do in their offices,
Now, you said that Genitor does not work for Manahart.
Right.
What occupation does Genitor have?
So Genitor just like chills on this island, like lives here. His family's from here. He like fishes or like hunts or whatever and like hangs out. Doesn't like earn a living, just has a house he built or someone built, like, whatever.
All right, so there's no property tax on this island?
No.
That means we can take it over and start being.
Let's build our own house
The
and then we can
kings.
just like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, we take it over and then we tax them. We can be the kings here. We can get all their tax money.
yeah, keep that idea in your back pocket till we're out of this room. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
later.
the Greater Hogtown area is democratically elected leadership.
Well, we'll secede once we take it over.
I mean, there is like
Democracies are generally
Like a
weak
figurehead,
when it comes to
like-
military strengths.
monarchy, but it's kind of
We'll install a quick dictatorship, then we can utilize 100% of their resources for warfare and defend ourselves with their blood.
and then have weird like low level sound emission in like the ambassador quarters, and so they all get headaches and have to go home.
I think microwaves are better, so we get like cancer instead.
we'll use
There we
masers
go.
and we'll boil their water from 100 meters.
Let's boil their kidneys at 100 meters.
All right, well, if you don't mind, Constable Bernard, we're going to have a look through the house for any extra clues.
One thing before we do that. How short is Gallifort?
Like 3.5 feet,
And then what about Harmore?
5'9",
Okay, what about Genitor?
5'11",
What about Balefist?
6'2".
Thanks. Is it all right if we go into the house now?
You don't care about Kiffin? Screw him.
You said Kiffin's the same height as Harmore.
So Kiffin's Slightly shorter than Harmore.
Oh, okay. Go
But
ahead.
very near 5'8".
Sure, glad I asked. Thanks. All right. Can we go look in the house? I mean, the
Government building.
Yeah, we call it the government building. He's like, yeah, sure. Like the front door's open, like we're open right now.
has anyone cleaned up the mess?
Some, but we're trying to preserve the crime scene.
Yeah, you should have done better. Jeez.
Well, I already investigated a lot of the crime scene.
What'd you find out?
I didn't find nothing.
All right, we head on in.
So you go inside the government building. It's just like a house, obviously, because I said it's a repurposed house. So there's like, 4-ish rooms or something on the bottom floor. They have like office furniture in them. There's a handful of people sitting at desks, like working on presumably government things. But like we all know that they're just looking like they're working because it's the government.
When we open the door, we open it loudly so that, we don't.
Yeah, everyone
catch
closes Minesweeper real quickly.
Okay. Well, how are the rooms laid out when you walk in? Are you inside one of them immediately, or is there some sort of like walkway entry?
Yeah, there's like this foyer entryway kind of room
foyer.
that's like big enough to fit like a desk in it. And there's presumably some sort of secretary person or whatever.
And then what? We go farther in.
Then there's another room that's probably either a living room or a dining room in the old house that has 2 desks in it. There's people in it, filing cabinets and things.
Are there other doors that lead out of that room?
Yeah, it goes to another room that's the other living room or dining room, depending.
Is it like straight or is it to the right?
They're like a square. Top left, top right, bottom right.
And how does that foyer thing fit?
That's the bottom right. If anyone wants to know what the house that I grew up in looks like,
It doesn't look like this.
that's the kitchen. You should put some stairs in that front where. Yeah, so in the foyer, draw some stairs.
All right. You're getting, all right. That's right. That's true.
What's in the back room? Behind the foyer and then the living room.
There's like another room. It has like a little kitchenette in it, but then there's another like.
Presumably another secretary working at another desk.
Yeah. Now this is the break room. There's like a microwave on like a little thing. There's one of those water coolers. There's like a mini fridge that's like up on like a stand, so that it's like chest height, not like floor height.
And there's a sign on the fridge that says, if your food is rotting, it will be thrown out.
Yeah, all food is thrown away on Friday. Take your food home.
Okay, so what's the general level of disheveled that this building is in?
So all the workstations seem cleaned up again, but there are a lot of like filing cabinets open. Like every drawer is open to a random outness, which is precarious because you know how filing cabinets are.
Oftentimes they're constructed in such a way that you can't even open more than one drawer at once.
Yeah, but this isn't the 20th century, bro. These are old filing
This is
cabinets.
before OSHA.
It's right when we had microwaves, before we had OSHA.
Yeah, we have microwaves and refrigerators and water coolers, but we don't have filing cabinets that prevent you from opening 2 drawers at the same time.
Okay.
Does it seem like most of the drawers that are open are like 3.5 feet on the bottom shelves versus all of the shelves or drawers? Is it mostly bottom ones or just all over?
All over.
So it might be any of them, guys.
Okay.
And there's like a little step stool you noticed in the kitchen,
What's it next to?
the table.
Is there any mess on the table?
No, table's actually surprisingly cleaned off.
All right. So now we know that Gallifort is a neat and tidy person if Gallifort was involved.
How'd you know that?
Well, because the step stool by the table, no mess.
Oh.
Wait, I'll explain it. False dichotomy.
All right, so let's check out upstairs.
There's one of those velvet ropes that hangs across the stairs, and Constable Bernard's like, you don't need to go upstairs. There's nothing upstairs.
Well, don't you think they might have gone upstairs and left clues?
No.
What if they're still upstairs waiting to escape?
Did you even go upstairs?
That's how Goldilocks was
Yeah,
caught.
I went upstairs.
What was up there?
My office.
Okay, we'll head up and check out your office.
My office
I
is
walk
fine.
up.
Let's go.
He doesn't even move that thing. He just goes under it.
I duck under it, yeah.
All right. Well, Constable Bernard unhooks one side of it and lets it fall on the ground and follows you up. He's like, you don't need to go up here. There's nothing up here.
But we don't trust you.
I follow.
What's it look like?
There's a bathroom. Brain already knows. They don't even have outhouses. They have indoor plumbing. We already went over this, though. We talked about their sanitary situation.
Is it disheveled?
No. One of the rooms has a desk in it, but there's another bench that has the arms have like handcuff bracelet bracket things. One of the rooms is completely empty,
Okay.
except for like some stacked up boxes.
Are those disheveled?
No,
Does anything on the second floor look disturbed at all?
no,
What happened up here? Did you clean this all up?
no. It was all right. I guess they didn't come up here.
They respected the velvet rope.
Yeah, just it prevents everyone from coming up.
All right, it could have been Gallifort because he could have just walked under it and not even noticed it. She could have walked under it and not even noticed it.
Do any of the doors on this floor have locking mechanisms?
Yeah, so the one to my office was locked.
Then it wasn't unlocked.
No, the front door was locked.
Were there any broken windows?
I mean, it was like busted in.
The door, like
Or,
the
like,
wood was broken.
It was like picked busted. Like
What?
forced. The lock was forced.
You're sure that you didn't just forget to lock?
They tried to pick the lock and they couldn't, so they broke it.
Well, they didn't kick the door in and like break the jam. They,
Broke the lock.
yeah,
Okay.
super good lock.
Well, especially not now.
Kind of bad lock right now.
What time do people leave? Like, what time does that empty?
In this building.
Is that building empty? What time does this building have no one in it?
Oh, like whenever they feel like it. Like there's not actually like work to do, so they like hang out, send some letters, and then like go home. So they're usually out of here like a little bit after noon. They're basically here long enough to convince Ogsheld that it's worth paying them to be here.
So this crime happened sometime between noon and 2 a.m.
So my office is in this building,
Mm-hmm.
and I was here before the show.
Okay. And it was fine
Went to the show.
And came back.
I came back.
at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
Why'd you come back here at 2 a.m.?
keep my booze here so I can drink on the job.
Okay.
You know,
I thought maybe your wife kicked you out and you were sleeping at your desk.
my wife lives in Ogsheld.
So you have to sleep at your desk.
No, I have like a permanent room at the Quagmire.
Oh, okay.
Let's go check his
Okay.
room at the Quagmire.
I mean, we're going to have to go there eventually, right? Because it has a name. Can I look at the locks and see if I notice anything special about the way they were handled?
Yeah, roll an investigation check.
They're built better than your little Tinker toys.
24.
24 investigation
Yes.
for just the lock.
Well, I said locks.
He's wasting all of his good
and I'm
rolls,
hoping
really.
that you don't make me roll again for the other lock. Because I rolled so well.
Wait, which locks are you checking?
The only two that exist in this building.
The ones on the handcuffs.
No, the
On the
one
chair.
into Bernard's office and the one into the front door. You said there were bars to have handcuffs to them. You didn't say there were handcuffs on the bar.
Oh, I meant
You said
there's
it was a
like...
desk that has like
Wait,
a
I
loop
meant it was
in
like-
that you can hook them on.
A kink desk.
Wow. I meant like the arms have like a cuff you put over your wrist to lock it down.
That's like cruel and unusual.
And also weird because you said a desk with handcuff bracket.
You don't think a handcuff bracket is like a thing that is like a handcuff, but it's also a bracket on the chair?
It doesn't even matter to me anymore.
The
So
lock on Bernard's door looks completely fine. Like only a key has ever entered the keyhole.
okay, not tampered with, not scratched up with picks or
Yeah.
anything. Okay.
The other one looks like it was picked with some sort of professional set of picks, but maybe didn't go well, but they got it.
Oh, so it's not broken now.
It's like jacked from being picked. It was like picked poorly to being broken open,
Okay.
but not like busted.
Like they didn't take a ice pick and put it in and hammer it through and then
No.
Wrong kind of pick. They were like, whoops.
all right.
I want to look at these filing cabinets and see if it looks like they're looking in specific areas.
I want to open all the drawers at once.
I want to do it before he does that.
All right, roll an initiative check and then roll an investigation check.
Initiative 22.
Grundledor.
15.
All right, Flo gets there first.
Wait, why are we rolling
Investigation
initiative?
21.
Are we going to fight the filing cabinet?
No, I'm trying to beat you to look and investigate before you ruin the crime scene by opening
Yeah, roll an
every drawer.
investigation check.
Oh,
That's a filing cabinet mimic. I
Is
wish
it?
I hadn't stuttered when I said mimic.
Say it again.
It's a filing cabinet mimic. Well, it's called a mimic now.
it's a filing cabinet mimic.
What was your investigation check?
6.
All right.
I got a 21.
Grundledor finds a filing cabinet and just pulls the whole thing over on the ground and knocks all the files out. Constable Bernard's like, yo, are you all right there, man?
Just had to make sure this filing cabinet wasn't a mimic.
Oh, yeah.
I better check these other ones too. Some of them look a little bit suspicious.
The trick with these filing cabinets is you never want to pull out more than one drawer at the
That's
same
the
time.
only way to get the mimic to reveal itself.
No, then they get too front heavy and they're not bolted to the wall because like we don't have screwdrivers or something.
If it's a normal filing cabinet, it'll fall over. But if it's a mimic, it'll stay upright.
If it's a mimic, also if you just slap it, it will like eat you.
Not if it's smart.
The smartest mimic is just a functional filing cabinet for like decades.
It's waiting for somebody to reach for the file in the very back of the drawer so it can just suck you in like a noodle.
It can suck you in if you're like within 10 feet of it.
Not if it wants to exist in the office setting for 30 years and live an easy life.
And maybe it likes that nice elevator music.
They probably put it in there and they tell it to eat the oldest, like most elderly clerks so they don't have to pay for their retirement plans.
Emily,
I think there's a sinister plot going on here to eat the oldest workers so their retirements don't have to be paid out.
I don't know if they pay retirement. Like,
Pensions.
Yeah, probably not if a mimic eats them all.
No, they save so much money. I mean, that's what I would do if I ran an office.
Flo finds an earring with some sort of strange symbol on it. Do you have like a knowledge, religion, or history?
16.
It appears to be some sort of cult symbol of some, apparently a lesser known cult because you don't recognize it. And you know like a lot of cults.
All right, I show it to Sammy and Grungo to see what they think.
You guys want to roll some checkos?
12.
15.
All right, you guys believe Flo's assumptions about this?
All right, I keep it. I like put it in my pocket to have as like an evidence thing for later to see if we can compare with someone else. Maybe.
All right.
That's all I found in the filing cabinets or
Yeah.
around all of them. How about the basement? Is there a basement in here? I asked the constable.
There's a door to the basement.
All right, I head that way.
All right. He's like, you don't need to go in the basement if you don't want to.
Okay, I want to see what's down here.
All right. Go check it out.
Okay, I go check it out.
Roll an investigation check.
I'll follow her.
All
I'll
right.
follow too.
11.
15.
7.
Sammy finds a bear claw that has a hole drilled in it.
The, pastry.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He eats it.
How big is this hole drilled in it? You know, like this big or like.
Oh, it's about this big.
Okay.
Is it furry still? Like is it fresh?
No, it's like it has a hole big enough for like a leather strap. It has a hole big enough for like a leather strap in it.
A claw.
Yeah.
Like a fingernail, like a claw.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a hook. I got you. All right. I'm going to head back upstairs, guys. I'm going to go see if there's an attic.
If Flo's allowed to take evidence, I'm allowed to take evidence. I'm taking this.
All right. Well, Bernard didn't see either one of these.
All right, cool. I go up to the attic.
Are there any leather thongs down here?
You don't see it. You didn't find any in
Only
your
silk.
investigation.
Okay.
I don't like. There almost has to be, right? Like everything has leather. Like there's probably like a million things. No, like suspicious ones. Oh yeah, like you mean you want to have one.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
I make a necklace out of this bad boy.
All right. Like you probably have like some like a.
If you described that symbol, that cult symbol, how would you describe it? Like what shapes is it made out of?
I already know what this cult symbol looks like, so let me describe it to you. There's like a circle with a V in it, but it doesn't look like the V for Vendetta symbol because it also has a drop of blood.
Is it coming out of the tip, the point of the V? Or
No,
one
it's
of the
in
ends?
the middle of the V. It's like big enough to like cover parts of the V and also go through the top of the circle. They all overlap. Very design balanced.
All right. I look in that filing cabinet one more time that I was near where I found this earring for the V files. Files that start with V.
Just in that specific one?
Yeah.
All right. You find the V files.
Well, is there anything that looks suspicious to me? I like flip through the V name files.
Nothing seems very suspicious or out of place in the V files.
Okay.
I'd like to check for the drop of blood files.
There weren't any.
Dang.
Stinks, man. All right. I head upstairs to see if there's an attic.
There is a door to an attic.
I go in it.
Bernard's like, you really don't have to go up there.
I don't care. I want to investigate this place fully.
Okay.
I go upstairs. And what do I see?
There's an attic.
What's in it? I go up into the attic.
There's a bookshelf
Ooh.
and there's a filing cabinet that all the doors are closed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an old Apple IIe that doesn't work anymore.
Is this your parents' attic?
And a lot of National Geographic magazines that they're being saved for whenever you need them.
Uh-huh. Got it. Is there a Zork?
There's an old couch.
All right.
Zork is in the Apple IIe.
I figured. I look on the bookshelf. Are there any books that have the same symbol from the cult?
There's a really old like baby.
Grand piano.
Oh, it's a really old baby. It's just an old man.
No, it's just like a middle-aged man. It's a very old baby. Is there anything what?
Are there any books on the bookshelf that have that symbol? The blood V circle symbol?
Roll an investigation check.
It's 14.
No.
Are there any books about cults?
No.
All right.
But you find some suspicious skin flakes.
Yum.
How do you mean
So,
suspicious skin flakes?
Well, usually there aren't skin flakes anywhere.
They have to be pretty big for me to see them with my eyes. Just
do they look like fish food?
I don't feel like I should have to tell you how detective work works, but you've seen a lot of piles of skin flakes in your life, and this one is suspicious.
Have we?
okay. What color are the skin flakes?
Like white. They're like, skin flake.
They're not
Like-
like green scales off of a lizard
Or an orc?
flakes.
I think that when lizards flake, it's like real like white look. Like like ones like they're not like white. They're just like so like
But when there's a big pile of them,
Thin.
the base color comes back through. So if there are a bunch of blue flakes, individual blue flake looks kind of white. But you get a pile of blue flakes. That,
there aren't enough
It looks
flakes to
blue.
determine like skin tone from them.
Mhm.
I thought you said there's a lot.
It's just that someone had dandruff and was like scratching their head while looking at this bookshelf.
See, what makes it suspicious is that it doesn't look like dandruff.
All right. I investigate the rest of the attic to see if I see anything else out of the ordinary besides a pile of skin flakes.
I'm going to sniff the skin flakes to see if I can figure out what part of the body they came from.
All right, roll a knowledge anatomy.
Sniff check.
It's not called knowledge. I get it. It's called anatomy, which isn't even.
Where's anatomy at?
I don't, what's the closest skill? to that?
Nature.
Nature, or just roll like an
Medicine.
intelligence. Sure, medicine. It's great.
Oh yeah, 23. My nose is all down in there. I proceed to inhale the entire line of skin
Strangely
flakes.
enough, Grundledor sniffs the skin flakes, and he surprisingly is like, these are definitely neck skin flakes. Neck or like lower face. Like it's hard, like chin, lower neck.
Do they smell like rope at all as well?
No,
So it wasn't from a hanging or like the friction of a rope rubbing the skin off
no.
Or someone being tied up there.
or autoerotic asphyxiating themselves
Yeah, none of those.
All right, let's ask Bernard.
like a David Carradine.
Is this house haunted?
Not that I know of.
Have you ever spent the night here?
Off the record,
Sure.
I mean, we're
Maybe-
not official police.
maybe once or twice I've been like, hit the flask too many times. Thought maybe like the chair with the handcuffs on the arms looks like it's comfortable enough to sleep in.
Okay, all right. Well, we might come back, so don't clean any of this up yet. And we're gonna
And you know
go.
what? The attic is clean.
Mm-hmm.
Then explain this pile of skin flakes.
That's just dust,
Okay, bud.
bro.
Now we are going to head out and we're going to start questioning these so-called suspects.
Could I do one more thing? On our way out, just glancing, are there any desk, like table plants, like house plants anywhere?
Like floor plans, like
Plant.
glue?
Like a
Plants.
plant on someone's desk that
Oh,
they
yeah.
like love and take care of.
Sure. Do you want to investigate them?
I was gonna interrogate them.
I was just going to look at them. And she leaves.
I leave.
I'd like to water them.
I leave for a while.
Okay.
All right, guys, what do you want to do?
I want
I'd
to go
say we
look at
burn
more
this
house
place
plants.
down.
Whoa, you both said something at once and I didn't hear you.
No, you go.
You go.
No, you go.
Okay.
I will go together on 3.
1, 2, 3.
I say we burn this place down.
Okay, I say we should go look at more houseplants.
That's the worst together I think I've ever heard. I've heard a lot of bad together.
We're not a very good team.
I bet there's more houseplants at the Quagmire.
What?
We head off to the Quagmire.
Okay. You walk in the front entrance of the quote unquote hotel.
Are there any houseplants?
Does that mean it's really
Yeah.
a motel?
They're like fake potted palm trees that are only like 8 feet tall.
I'm like, Flo, why don't you talk to these?
Nah. They're clearly not real. If you were a wood elf, you would know.
Sammy's like, these rocks are also not real. You would know if you were a rock gnome.
If he just listened to the DM, he'd know too.
What secrets wait to be unveiled in the quagmire? Why didn't Constable Bernard find any of the clues discovered by Antler Mayhem? And ultimately, who ransacked the government building? Find out next time on Bardic Mystery Tour.
The Bardic Mystery Tour. There's only one thing we implore. Tell all your friends and they'll tell more. Warn your sheriff 'cause we're kicking in doors. Rolling dice with our best friends. Solving mysteries again and again. Writing songs about our quests. Once a week on the internet. It's the Bardic Mystery Tour. If yins wanna hear more, buy some merch in the store. Rate us with a 5-star score. It's the Bardic Mystery Tour. It's the Bardic Mystery Tour. It's the Bardic Mystery Tour. It's the Bardic Mystery Tour.
Hey there, groupies. Brayden here. Thanks for listening to another episode. Hope your Monday's going great, or whatever day you're listening to this on. For us, it's going to be Monday. Remember, we're doing this dice giveaway with Dice Envy, so tweet at us or hit us on Facebook and tag Bardic Mystery Tour and tag Dice Envy, DICEENVY, and say you're excited to be entered in the dice giveaway. There's a second dice giveaway that all of our patrons of any level are automatically entered in. So if you'd like to have 2 chances to win, then, sign up for our patron program on Patreon. For more information about our podcast or any of what we're doing, go to bardicmysterytour.com. That'll link you to everything else. This is the first episode of the last story arc for this season. So at the end of this set of 4 episodes, Bardic Mystery Tour is going to take a 2-week break and then be back at you for season 3. At that point, we'll do a final mix of all of our songs on the album, and we will send it out to get mastered. So November 4th will be the last episode's release date, and so who knows how long. It should be much shorter than last time, so probably a month after that, the album won't come out. Just as a heads up, so you know. All right, see you next week.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
Bardic Mystery Tour is recorded at Looking for Group Pittsburgh. Looking for Group Pittsburgh is a land center in the Brookline neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you're in the area, stop by for games, co-working, or events. Find more information or schedule your next party at lfgpgh.com.